my social media land. I'm Richard Mosley, Director of Catering Sales here at the Greater Richmond Convention Center. Today we have one of our chefs with us, Andrea Martin. She's become one of the baking gurus here and always has a tasty treat for us, from brownies to brioche. Today is Tasty Cupcake Tuesdays. So today, what kind of cupcakes are you doing for us, Andrea?
Well, today, Richard, we have a Margarita cupcake. In honor of Cinco de Mayo, we're going to take a regular lime cupcake and infuse it with tequila and add a little bit of salt into the buttercream, and boom, you have Cinco de Mayo Margarita cupcakes.
Yep, so today we are going to make these tasty treats right here. So how do we start?
Well, first we start with creaming your butter and your sugar together. So you take your stand mixer with your whip attachment and you add softened butter and granulated white sugar.
So what's our next step?
All right. After you scrape down your bowl, which is very important so that you can make sure everything gets evenly incorporated, you're going to add your eggs one at a time.
All right.
When you add your eggs one at a time to make sure that they incorporate evenly, make sure your yolk is evenly distributed throughout your butter and sugar mixture.
The next one.
Yeah, the next one.
All right.
Now after your eggs are incorporated, this is where it starts to get a little weird. So we're going to start to add the lime zest, tequila, and the lime juice. Now beware, once you add these, it is going to look curdled, but trust and believe, it will be just fine.
Okay, what do we add first?
You can go ahead and add the lime juice.
All right, so we'll do the lime juice. Then we'll add the zest. You add the tequila. So today we're using silver. So you want to use a tequila that's smooth, regardless of who the brand is. You want to get something that has a nice smooth taste. You don't want to overpower the cupcakes with the type of tequila you use.
Once those are all incorporated, you're going to stop your mixer and scrape the bowl again. Also, it's just to make sure everything is incorporated. Lock your lid. Start your mixer up again on medium-low speed. You are going to take your flour mixture mixed with your baking powder and your salt, and you're going to take your buttermilk. Now buttermilk, you have to use buttermilk. Regular milk will not do. You need that extra fat to make this cake really smooth and really moist.
Is there a particular type of flour you should use?
I would stick with all-purpose flour. It's got medium protein in the flour. If you use something like a bread flour that's way too much protein, it's going to make a really dense, really chewy cupcake. And if you use a pastry flour or a cake flour, it's going to make a really brittle, really soft cupcake.
Gotcha.
So you're going to add your flour first. You're going to add it in 3 stages. So you're going to add 1/3 of your flour mixture.
Why do you add it in stages?
It's just to make sure that you don't end up with an overworked batter. Everyone hates a stiff cupcake. When you get a cupcake, you're expecting something moist, something soft, something
And delicious.
delicious, right?
Absolutely.
No one wants a tough cupcake. So you're gonna add half of your buttermilk. Can you please grab me the muffin tins, please?
Absolutely. So you can have your muffin tins, and then you can go ahead and have the inserts already inside here.
Now, to make the perfect size cupcake, I like to use a small cookie scoop. You're just going to take a little bit, drag it along the side, and scoop into the tin. Now, that doesn't look like enough. It is not. So you just take a half scoop to fill the rest of the tin. So you're going to fill it up about 2/3 of the way so that it gives chance for your cupcakes to rise. They won't look like a muffin. You want them to look like a cupcake.
Now that you have this filled up, we'll have the oven already preheated to...
325.
And how long will we leave that in?
They'll cook for about 25 minutes to 30 minutes, but you're gonna spin the pan halfway through and make sure they're a light golden brown when you take them out.
So put a timer about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, spin another 10 to 15.
Yep.
Alrighty, and then we're going to start on the icing while this is in the oven.
So this is gonna be a classic homemade buttercream. Now you can make buttercream one or two ways. You can make it with a shortening or you can make it with straight butter. I prefer butter because it melts easier on the tongue, it doesn't leave kind of an oil slick, and personally it tastes better. So you're gonna take the butter and you're just gonna put it in your mixer and you're gonna turn it on and you're just gonna whip it for about 5 minutes. So when your butter is nice and whipped and fluffy, you're gonna add your powdered sugar. Add it very slowly at a low speed. You do not want a cloud of dust. It will bounce back at you and you will look like you played around in flour. It's gonna get really, really tight as you mix it, but once you start to add the lime juice and the tequila, it will actually thin out to a pretty decent consistency. Now, if you want a thicker buttercream and you've already added your liquids, you can always add more powdered sugar and adjust your flavors accordingly. Or if you want a thinner, more icing-like buttercream, then you can add more liquids and adjust your flavors accordingly.
All right, we're done with the icing and the cupcakes are ready. Go ahead, you get your icing, you take it, you go ahead and put it into a piping bag. Now you notice too, we have a garnish over here and we have some quartered out limes. So you go ahead, you quarter them, you get them sliced. We go ahead and ice the cupcakes.
But right before you ice the cupcakes, Richard, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a pastry brush, you're gonna take a little bit of that leftover tequila, and you're gonna brush the top of the cupcakes.
How could I have ever forgotten that part?
Now, you brush as much as you want. If you wanna have a party, you brush more. If you wanna do it for the kids, you can omit the tequila altogether. So then you're gonna take your pastry bag, make sure it's nice and tight, and then you're gonna start on the outside rim, and then just go around. Now you can pipe it whichever way you want. You can use star tips, all the things. Depends on how fancy you wanna be. I'm a simple girl, I like a simple cupcake. Would you like to try?
Absolutely. So clearly I tried, didn't work out that well. I've been known to be an artist, but clearly not with pastries. That's why we leave it to the professionals. So what's next?
All right. You can just go ahead and add your lime garnish. I'm a stickler for perfection, so I like them all pointed the exact same way.
Even on mine, it didn't make the cut.
Even on yours. So after making these cupcakes for a couple of years, I realized that the cupcake is missing one thing. What is a margarita without a little salt rim?
Absolutely.
So personally, I like to put a little coarse salt on top just to give it that last kick to make it taste like a straight margarita. And there you have it, margarita cupcakes.